Okay, today I am speaking with the one and only SHLOMO Zomick. How do you pronounce your last name, Zomick?
Exactly. Like the bakery.
Zomick. Um, and we're going to start off by playing one of his songs.
I've seen the Book of Mormon be able to change my life.
That's the one. Okay, we played the letter of the song. His name, I forgot to say good afternoon to him, but um, where do you grow up and where do you live now?
So I grew up in Woodmere, New York, in the Five Towns, and now I'm in the process of moving to a new house in Inwood, still in the Five Towns.
Um, you, why do you like the five? Before we move on, why do you like the five towns so much? Everybody wants to leave the five towns. Honey, Polanski, all these singers want to move away. Why do you like the five towns?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I don't know why anybody would want to move away. It's home. It's what I'm familiar with. It's where I grew up. I know the streets. I know the communities. I know the schools, and it's an extremely beautiful Jewish community, which I'm excited to raise my kids in, to be honest.
Yeah, you know Tony Polanski?
Sure.
He used to live in the five towns.
Yeah.
I don't know why he want to move from a beautiful five towns to LA, where it
I hear LA's
fire.
also beautiful.
Now fire.
Say that again? Oh yeah, yeah, with the
Uh,
fires. Yeah.
you know LA is on fire now.
Yes, yes, I do, unfortunately. And I
Yeah.
keep davening for them.
Where did you go for elementary school and for high school?
For elementary school, I went to HALP back when it was in Long Beach. before it moved to Woodmere. And then high school, DRS, also Hal, that was in Woodmere. So that I got to walk every day around the corner. But my elementary school years, I was commuting to Long Beach.
You went, hold on. How long were you in help for?
All my schooling years, kindergarten through 12th grade.
I know. I am wondering if you had a Rabbi
Rabbi,
Lippman.
Rabbi Libman.
Yeah.
Rabbi Libman was my fourth grade Rebbe.
Rabbi Lippman was your fourth grade Rabbi?
Yes, he was. Why are you related to him?
Yeah, I am his son.
Wow. Okay, very nice. Yeah, sure. I had Rabbi Libman in Hal. Fantastic Rebbe.
He is a great Rabbi.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, he gave me a book, Five Great Lives at the end of the year. I still have it. And I actually told this to him. And almost 2 years ago I made a bris and I named my son Yaakov Yisrael after the Stipler. And I told him that I used that book that he gave me all those years ago as, to read up on the Stipler
Oh,
before naming my son and before speaking at the bris.
oh, he came to the bus?
He didn't come to the bris. He gave me a book when I was very young that I still have that I used as a reference before I made a bris naming after the Stipler.
Oh. Um,
Please send him
um,
my regards.
I will do. Um, did you go to base Madras or did you go to college?
I went to Beis Medrash for a number of years. After 12th grade, I went to OJ. Then I went to a small yeshiva called Tehillas Shlomo, which is in Ramat Eshkol. Then I went to Beitar to Rabbi Yaakov Friedman. Then I came back and I went to yeshiva in Woodmere, yeshiva Gedol in Woodmere. I got married, and then I learned in Kollel for a bunch of years.
College on you didn't.
So I actually did when I was as a bacher. I managed to get the credits together during Bein Hazmanim. So I actually, before I even came back from Eretz Yisrael, I was finished with college credits, and it came in
Uh,
handy because about 2 months ago, no, 3 months ago, I started social work school. So with the college degree I got all those years ago, I started graduate school a couple months ago.
oh, I know someone who is in social work, the field.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. His name is David Pullman.
David, say that last name again.
David Pullman.
I don't know him. Perhaps I'll meet him.
I think you sing with him.
Oh, David
On
Perlman. Oh, I didn't know you were David Perlman, the singer.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize he was. I was thinking about a social worker with that name. Yeah, sure. I didn't know he was in the social work field. That's news to me. I did sing with him. That's correct. This past
yeah,
Hanukkah, a few weeks ago.
yeah. You sing this
Yeah.
past Hanukkah. I wanted to bring it up much later in the interview since you brought it up now. You sing with this past Hanukkah in a concert with David Pullman, Ellie Dax, Tony Polanski, um,
Warren Tati.
who is Warren Tati?
His name is Benjamin Warner, and he's a bacher in Shir Yashiv who writes very poetic and profound rap music, which people are really taking to. It's being received really well.
Any way you can send me his number?
Sure, we'll be in touch afterwards. I have to check if I have it, but if I do, yeah.
Um, did you sing? Hold on, before I get ahead. What did you do after base medrash?
I learned in Kyle. I got married, had Kanai and I a bunch of children, and then I learned in Kyle up until 3 months ago. I started graduate school and I started working part-time while I'm in school.
Um, um, at what age did you start singing?
Ooh. Like in front of other people or singing to
No,
myself?
singing. When did you start singing to yourself?
Oh, that's very young. That was easy. I remember having Miami Boys Choir VHS one by one. And this is like the earlier memories that I had. Um, and right away, and, my father's a musician. So it's been the Shabbos table. It's been the Shabbos table since I'm a little kid. Discussing it and singing and being involved in it.
Your father sings?
He is the co-owner of Neshama Orchestras, which is actually not called that anymore. Now it's Chroma, but for decades he was Neshama Orchestras at all the weddings.
Oh, um, can you see me better? I forgot to turn on the lights and some. Can
I
you
can
see
see
me
you
better?
better. Yes, yes. I was able to see you fine, but you are correct. It's better now.
Good. Um, well, um, how many albums do you have out now?
Ooh. Um, you told me you were going to ask me that question, and I meant to count, but I did not. So let's quickly run through it. I put out an EP with 3 songs. Then I released a single, which was part of a subsequent EP. That was like an album/EP that had 7 songs on it. Ultimately, I called it an EP. And since then, there have been about 3 singles. So I don't know, that's like 5 separate projects in total, I think.
Wow. Um, what is your favorite song of all your singles or albums?
That's a good question. Um, I'm gonna pick 2. I'm gonna say the fast song. The fast song. I really like Uwe. That's a song I wrote that I really enjoy, and I kind of went all out with it. I drove to Pomona and hung out with C. Lansbaum for a few hours, and he played the guitars on it. So it's just when you put more into it, there's more. It's more meaningful. And then a slow song, it's always gonna. I don't know. It's always going to be. It always has been. Altira, which is the song you played at the beginning. Why did you choose that song? Is that your favorite or you picked a random song? How did you choose?
I picked the first song that popped up.
Okay, so it could be it's one of the more popular ones, and that's why. But Altira, also very meaningful. I feel it's the most appropriate expression of the words. Not the most, but it's an extremely appropriate expression of the words, in my opinion, and therefore I'm very fond of it.
Hold on, did you sing that song on the Hanukkah concert?
No, I actually performed at 2 Niggin Chabura concerts run by a very special Talmud Chacham named Rabbi Yermi Ginsburg. And so one of them was a few months ago. It was on the anniversary of October 7th. And at that one, I sang Altira. But on Hanukkah, I didn't sing Altira. It wasn't in theme. He tries to pick songs and, make a concert where things are in theme. So I actually sang Uvechein. And I sang a different song of mine, Vanachnu Lo Neda Man Nase. The words are from Tachnu.
Yeah. Um, what do you do when you're not performing?
So now that I started school, I'm pretty busy. I have school, I have part-time work, I have family life. and that
Oh,
keeps me pretty busy.
what do you do for your part-time job?
I work for an ABA therapy, uh, company down in Lakewood, actually. I work primarily
Oh,
remote, just medical, billing, insurance stuff. Nothing interesting.
oh, okay. Um, who did you get inspired by to start singing?
Oh, really going far back here. Well, my generation, so I graduated eighth grade in like 2004. So, in that window, that was like the early Shalshelis albums and the early Lev Tahor albums, and they were, what you were hearing in school and what you were singing at camp, and it was like, it was Jewish music as we knew it. Um, and I would say kind of all that music from those days. Um, we were living with it, and just the songwriting, from Yitzchak Rosenthal. I actually just reached out to him just to tell him that he just recently released the Hamalach HaGoel. So I felt compelled to reach out to him and tell him that I really feel like the old Shalshela's glory was restored. I really really love that song. But that was my youth. That's what we were hearing. That's what we were singing. That's what we were thinking about. And I would say, it had a lot to do with that. I don't know if I can pin it down on one artist, but that culture of music that existed was very, very inspiring at the time to kind of want to be part of it and want to contribute to it. That's probably how I would answer that question.
Yeah. Um, are you coming out with a new song or album?
So an album, no, that's not in the plans yet. It's very expensive, and all the while there's like a culture of releasing a single every few months. I'm probably going to stick with that. Although maybe one day an album. And singles, yeah. I actually had a meeting last night, a meeting this morning with producers trying to come up with a plan. I have a Mivan Siach that's almost ready. I'm still finishing it. And I have a different song, His Oiriri, which I have only released a cappella. And now I'm making a plan to have instruments with it. So those are the two projects that are currently going on. And there's always projects that are half done on the back burner. I'd imagine most of the Jewish artists you speak to have that. There's always projects that are going to be finished at some point.
Yeah. Um,
Say that again.
at what age did you start performing live in front of people?
That didn't come till much later. That was when I was 20 years old. Um, I in that yeshiva in Ramat Eshkol, the yeshiva basically said to me, "Oh, your father's a musician. You know what? You're going to daven for the Amud this Shabbos." So I went into a pretty severe panic attack and got it ready, and I davened for the Amud. And at that point, it was a small yeshiva, so it's basically I spent the year davening for the Amud, if not every other week, every third week, and I really built that up. And that's really all I did for a few years. I was davening for the Amud a lot. And then later on, much later on, a kumsitz in yeshiva, one thing led to another. At some point, I started taking over running a kumsitz with Bachram, and that must have been when I was 26, 25, 26. I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, maybe even a little older. But the live performance in front of others musically has only been about 6, 7 years.
Oh, that isn't that long.
No, it's not.
Um, who did you sing with and who did you perform with?
Ah, so so it depends what
With,
with means.
um,
What'd you
with,
say?
with you, like,
Like the Hanukkah concert.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
singing is like in a studio or yeah.
Yes, I haven't done any collaboration recordings yet. That I'm actually in talks with a few different people about. I'm discussing that now. Hopefully that'll be soon. There's also been weddings where it's, the chassan or the kala wants me to sing by the chuppah because they want my song or they want me to sing, but other singers are there, and then I get back on during the dancing, in between dancing, I mean, during the dinner music. So that, been at chasanas together with Barry Weber. I did an event also. It was kind of back to back with Yishai Ribo actually, but those are not with. The with is really the Hanukkah concerts that I've done. Those were great. That was the first one. It was a few months ago. That was with a similar list of guys, but also Aryeh Kunstler was there,
Oh,
Ellie Dax, Yosef Kugler, Warren Tati, Yaakov Chesed, Tani Polanski, David Perlman, Akiva David was also there. Um, I really hope I'm not forgetting anybody. It could be I am. I apologize if you're listening. And and I did have the opportunity to put out Uvachain with C. Lansbaum. That was really special. He's quite a guitar player and a musician and a producer. So, recording I actually did with him, but no other singers.
uh, um, where did you perform? What countries did you perform in?
Just America, the United States of America. I have not up to that yet. They haven't got me a tour bus. I keep asking, but no tour bus has been parked outside yet. But I did get a call recently about being flown somewhere within the United States. So things are moving in the right direction. We'll see. If people are interested in
That,
bringing me out for a kumsitz.
that is a very good start.
Yeah.
That is a great start.
Thank
You
you.
know, Joey Newcomb flies to who knows where every week. He is on a plane
Really.
every week. He flying to LA one day. He flying to Chicago the next. He flying to Mexico. Have you ever see Joey Newcomb in Five Towns? He must have a off week that week.
I do. I see him. I see him dropping off his kids when I'm dropping off my kids. I see him once in a while. So now I know. Must be it's a slow week.
Yeah. What kind of clientele do you service?
So anybody who can benefit from a guy and his acoustic guitar, So ideally, the things I like to do is have a kumsitz either with Bachrim or with Balabatim, Chizuk, whether they want me to speak or they're gonna, the rub of the community is gonna speak. I've done both. Siyum, Malava Malka, Sheva Brachas, Avasubanim. It's like if people are interested in a one-man band, but with a little bit more of an acoustic, kumsitzy, Hartziga vibe, which people are more into nowadays. It's becoming more and more popular. So I'm a potential guy. I'm one of your guys that you could call in to do that job. That's the general clientele.
Yeah. Do you think you would sing for non-Jewish people also?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't know enough of the music that they'd want me to sing. If they'd want to pay me a lot of money and it was Tsanua, let's say, hypothetically, what am I going to sing for them? Like,
Say
so I
yes,
don't.
I will do it. I will
Well,
do it.
you should be my PR guy. That's what we should do. After this, we're going to talk about this. You'll be my agent. When it comes up, I'll shoot you a text. I'll let you know what my answer will be.
Should go pay my ticket, pay my way back and forth. I will be on that plane.
Very good. Yeah, we'll see.
um, how do you come up with your songs?
That's a very good question. And I'm curious what everyone answers because in my experience, there's a number of ways to come up with a song, and they've all been true for different songs. If you ask me about a specific song, I could tell you sometimes the words are the inspiration. You get stuck on words, you get a snag and they're just kind of like rolling around. Other times you start with the melody, the niggin, and then I found myself trying to find words that are appropriate for that. And then other times it's neither. It could be, the chords. I'm playing, messing around on the guitar, and I realize a chord progression that kind of sounds like it could be something, and then I work within the structure of the chord progression. There's a number of different ways, and there's no set recipe. I kind of allow it to happen organically, and historically it has happened organically in different ways.
Well, um, do you have any funny stories about traveling to a show or a wedding?
Oh, I mean, I told you, I'm not really traveling that much. I'm in the tri-state area, driving around in my minivan with a speaker in the back. So there's not too many wild things that happen, but we're gonna have this interview again after my tour bus kind of takes off.
I, if I was your manager, I would get you a tour bus, a driver, bodyguards, the whole 9 yards.
See, and then you would know the funny stories. So then it would be a pointless question. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make funny stories together on a tour bus. This is exciting. But so traveling, I don't have any, but while performing.
Maybe we can put you on top of the roof, singing, dancing.
If that's what will get them to fly me somewhere every single week, I'm in. I am totally in.
One day we need to meet each other and come up with funny stories about your car breaking down or you get pulled over by a cop on the way to a concert, a show, a wedding. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is exciting. Yes.
or you drove your car into a lake. You are swimming to the concert in your wedding suit.
Are these real stories?
No,
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
not yet. One day, someone will unfortunately drive his car into the lake and swim all the way to a wedding in his suit, white shirt, jacket, tie, pants. Okay. Do you have any funny stories that happened to you by a show or a wedding?
Oh, I'll tell you one time. One time it wasn't my show. It was actually a conference with Joey Newcomb, but I was in the audience. And it was before I was really, playing my guitar and singing in public. It was kind of, only happening in my own apartment. And this goes back years. And I had a song called Hashivenu. I still have a song called Hashivenu. It's out. You could listen to it. One of the earlier ones I released, I did it with Arya Kunstler as like a little bit of a demo. I'm hoping one day to kind of reproduce it a little bit more grand, but you could hear the song if you'd like. So somebody in the audience knew that song, and it was an L Kumsitz. And so they told Joey Newcomb to call me up to sing it. Now, unbeknownst to him and Joey Newcomb, I was like so out of practice, and so I didn't hadn't played the song or hadn't really thought about the song in so long. I didn't know how to play it. I didn't I was so taken aback because I wasn't really singing. I was nervous, and Joey Newcomb looks to hand me the guitar, and I said like no, it was like they called me up to sing the song, and now I'm telling Joey Newcomb I don't really know what I'm supposed to do right now, to be honest. But I'll tell you what I can do. I'll just take the mic. He said, I can play with, I said, I'll play. You just sing. I said, all right, great. So that's what we did. And Lamaisa, it was a complete train wreck. The whole thing was musically a train wreck, but the song did take off because, there's a little bit of a catchy high part, which you can pick up whether somebody's playing the guitar. Joey was so nice about it. Like he wasn't even nervous that it's going to make him look bad. He was just like, I'll try, I'll do what I can, which I was very appreciative of. And I'm appreciative of to this day. So he was kind of behind me, just figuring out what chords as I just had my eyes closed because I was nervous and I was singing this song trying to teach it to people when they can't really hear what's going on because the guitar wasn't playing the exact song. But it was received well. And after that, subsequently people did learn the song. And I did pick up my guitar and remind myself how to play the song. And since then I've used it. I also sang that one by a Nigun Chabura concert in Woodmere in Eish Kodesh. And it was well received. But the first time I did it, it was a train wreck. It was and that was the craziest part, that my own song, I was so out of practice. I didn't even know what to do.
Wow. Maybe you can lip singing. He can sing it, and you can he the background, and you will lip sync it.
Yeah, I've thought about lip singing. You know what the issue with lip singing is you could pull it off, you could look good, but if one time in your whole life you get caught, you're toast.
Yeah, you can lip sync when you're having a bad day or you don't want to sing that day. You play your music and you play along.
This interview, I'm getting so much advice that it's only becoming more and more clear that we really need to, connect and talk business.
One day, we will meet. Me, you, Ellie, Connie, Jake, who else was on? One
Um,
day, I need to have all the singers I had on, make one big Zoom and have each singer sing maybe 2, 3 songs for the end.
hey,
Before
a let us just talk concert. I like it.
yeah, on Zoom, before we move on to different better things.
Yeah.
May I ask, before we get on to the last question, do you have Matis Yahoo's phone number?
I do not. Why, you're looking to get him on the show?
Yeah. I've been
I do not.
asking I've been asking every single person who comes on for his number.
I don't know. Maybe I can reach out to a few people and see if I get it for you, but I don't have it.
Yeah. Before we move on, I would like to give my own shout out to a very nice guy. He helps me a ton. He helps me find singers. He helps me upload my videos for me. He asks for nothing in return from me.
Wow.
He yeah, he does it all for a mitzvah. He one of the next subjects of our time.
And who's that? Is he anonymous?
He would he like to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Um Last question. What words of inspiration do you have for the world?
I like that. I'm assuming you're asking from like a singer's perspective, from a
Yeah,
performer's perspective. And the fact of the matter is when you're putting out music or when you're singing in public, it's a very vulnerable spot to be in. You're putting yourself out on the line to be judged by others, pretty literally. And you could really make a fool of yourself. And I would imagine at some point in everybody's career, they're faced with that, until they're able to build up an internal confidence. And something that I try to live by and remind myself is that life is too short for insecurities. Life is too short for insecurities to get to be to waste time and to get caught up and to withhold something which you could be mahana other people with because you're uncomfortable with how it might make you feel, because it's a risk, which it really is. Who has time for insecurities? You gotta remember life is short. You gotta go for it, and it might hurt and it might be great, and let's find out. And if it's great, you'll build confidence, and if it hurts, you'll regroup and you'll rebuild. But in the end, life is too short for insecurities. That's what I would say.
yeah. Before we end, one day you need to collab with the amazing people like Mindy Walls, um, Moshe Storch, Sonny Dax, Lenny Salmon, Zalman Pollock. You heard of Zalman Pollock?
Yeah, sure. I know him. He knows me.
Oh, I had him on my show. I had a lot of people on my show that is um, I had on my show. Hold on. Joseph Kugler, Yetzi Spinner, Ellie Dex, Tony Polanski, Willie Williger, A.P. Rottenberg, Efraim Mendelssohn, Levi Cohen, Nielsen Black, Yossi Newman, Avi Kunstler, Bever Zucker, Mindy Walsh, Summer Kaufman, the One Brothers, Zusha, Penny Schaffner, 613, David Rosenberg, Molly Morgenstern, Ari Kurtz, Zamin Pollack, Ari Lewis, Naftali Blumenthal, Moshe Storks, David Pullman, Jake Polanski, Joey Newcomb, Lenny Salmon, and Slammy Dax, and you.
Wow, that is pretty remarkable. And when you put my name up against all those heavy hitters, I'm flattered. So before we end anything, I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you for honoring me with being on the show. I appreciate it immensely being associated with that whole list you just listed off. It's very meaningful, and I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you for coming on. I hope to do this one day again.
Sure, on the coach bus.
On the coach bus, we need to get not a coach bus, a RV. We need to get a RV.
You're right. It needs to have like both of our faces on the side of it. It's like I want its faces on the side. All right, we'll talk. We'll talk afterwards.
RV. Yeah,
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure.
yeah, me too. Bye.